Hello everyone and welcome back. It's Eon here. It's Saturday, November 16th as I record this, just for the sake of timelines. It's overview number 3 for the month of November 2024. Let's look at fantasy releases. Now, Archvillain Games hasn't released anything new, but we do want, it's because of the season it is, we want to try to track as many sales as we can. And they're doing their 5-year anniversary until the 30th of November. There's the discount code for that, so be sure to look into that. My Mini Factory says that there's a new tribe on their platform, and that is Blue Giant Studios. Blue Giant Studios is, right now you can jump in at a $4 tier. I think it's going to be about a $5 tier. And right now you get Freya and the Bear Mount as this month's release. Now, as they're premiering, they're also having a special miniature here that I did not include, but they also have an alternative sculpt of Freya with a beard, and the bear has a fish that he has caught. So worth checking out if you're interested. Alric66 on my channel suggested I check out Claudio Casini Art, and so we're going to do that. Thanks for the suggestion. And this seems to be pretty much the release for November 2024 that we can see here. Unfortunately, I didn't have any higher renders to pull for this. Crippled God Foundry hasn't done any new releases, but they do have a sale going from the 15th of November to the 2nd of December on their store, crippledgodfoundry.com. So they have a Black Friday sale. You can save up to 40% off if you check that out. Just trying to make sure that you're aware of these things if you have any interest. These might be for physical miniatures, but I think it includes digital STLs as well. As I was looking over stuff, I noticed Dragon Trapper's Lodge released some of those images that I really like that show you kind of everything you get in the bundle for the month. And I don't know that I showed you these, so let's glance at those a little bit. I don't know if they snuck those in on me. So like the Swamp Troll, I think we saw this guy, and the Will-O-Wisps. I don't remember noticing Will-O-Wisps. And just wanted to point a couple of those minis out. Here is the Soldier tier and Cult of the Pale One Part 1. We're supposed to see Part 2 in December. There's lots of options with these. You see multiple weapon choices and things like that. Also, they have their Welcome Pack, which is Children of the Flame. And these appear to be kobolds of sorts that they want to show off as well. So, and then just to kind of show you the Void Chanter with Plod Trouter mount that you see there. It's a snail with legs. I think someone pointed that out. A bit odd, but definitely unique. Duncan Shadow was suggested that I look at as well, and let's check those out. I think this is the release for November. These are mouse slings or something to that effect was the name that Duncan gave these. So perhaps if you play Burrows and Badgers, or just enjoy a Brian Jacques novel like Redwall, these would be wonderful miniatures for that setting. In addition, he released a female sculpt that he has worked on as well, and I believe this was the November release, if I understood correctly. Epic Miniatures has not really released anything new on the Tribe Patreon front, but they have released a Frontier that you can grab on My Mini Factory or Kickstarter. I think it was I'm pretty sure it's on My Mini Factory Frontier, actually. And this has got over 195 new and highly detailed fantasy models, as if Epic doesn't already release enough stuff as it is. As I'm recording this, you need to jump on pretty quickly if you want to grab the 48-hour early bird savings. I think they launched this on Friday, and I'm recording this Saturday night. We have the Dark Elf Army that you can kind of see here. They didn't really release a whole lot of the individuals, and Epic is always enormous. We could spend the whole video watching everything they have. So go check this out if you have any interest in Dark Elves. Now, me personally, I find dwarves very interesting, so You're tempting me, Epic. You're tempting me a lot. But here we have some dwarf army as well. So again, great miniatures if you need to start off some armies. They also have a lizard army as well. This seems to be more lizard and less lizard man, but there's some lizard man in there as well. And those are like triceratop humanoids up there in the top left. They also have some collectibles as well that you can get. So these are some busts and some cups and props, masks and things like that, which are interesting to look at as well and to use for various purposes. And then they have this system right here that I thought was really neat. So you can actually have like a coin slot system, and they have lots of coins with numbers and some with icons that you can use for lots of different purposes in your games. And you just have a neat handy holding thing. This right here alone is possibly worth checking out this Frontier for. So and they also, you can go back and look at a lot of the previous releases that they've done. Go check out their Frontier. Always worth checking out what Epic Games does. Epic Miniatures does, excuse me. Not Epic Games. That's a whole different company. Sorry about that. New to my videos is Gamescape 3D. They focus more on terrain, and here we can see the November release that they have posted for November. More specifically, what are you getting this month? You're getting the Manor House. So here's the various parts that go together to make the Manor House. Notice it does have a playable interior. You also get a guard tower, a 2-story barn. Maybe your adventurers had needed a place to lay low one night and sleep. And then the rectory. So 4 very detailed miniatures, buildings that you can print. Ghamak likes to release true previews or reviews of their images, renders of their images. So here we have a character from Empire of Mankind, as well as some soldiers on foot. And then continuing with Empire of Mankind, we have this group of cavalry as well, complete with bannermen and champion and musician. And again, there is the entire release for the month of November from Ghamak for their fantasy line. There's no less than 3 sets of minis here, or 3 sets of factions is what I'm referring to here. Last Sword Miniatures, no new releases from them, but we just want to give a shout out to their Black Days sale that you can do until the 5th of December, and that is at lastsword.com. Again, it's the month of lots of sales and specials, and we want to try to point out any that we can to you. New to my videos, due to viewer request, is Mortals of Ashmourne. And I was a bit confused when I first looked at Mortals of Ashmourne, because I was thinking, this is Fleshcraft Studios, is it not? But no, Fleshcraft Studios is a separate entity, but done by the same people. And apparently they are actually joining the Ever On group, which is the ones that do Printing Goes Ever On. And anyway, they have this small 5 miniature release warband together that you can see. So we have a fishmonger dwarf, a fish hauler ogre, and 3 fish merchants that are all human. So, but these are very similar to the Fleshcraft models. It's a very similar lineup there. So I'm a bit confused as to those, and I apologize for expressing my confusion so often. One Page Rules has released pretty much everything they're going to release for the month of November. They've shown us everything. They're starting to do previews of December, which is a whole nother video, isn't it? But I did want to point they've released this out, and so this is also, again, a preview, but this is for a Frontier coming the 5th of December, and this is for their Duchies of Vinci army, and this is a fantasy army. Even though very steampunk technology influenced, it is part of their age of fantasy. So just, put it on your radar, and if nothing else, go sign up to be notified, and you get a couple of free minis in your My Mini Factory library. The Printing Goes Ever On has released their Wargaming tier. This month they're doing Desert Clans as a modular army builder. So one of the things Printing Goes Ever On does very, very well is they give you the option of access certain months where you can build models, and you can build these as cavalry, you can build these as foot soldiers as well. And just to kind of give you an idea of some of the options, there's all the weapons options, there's all the torso options that come along with this. Notice again, some are cavalry, some are on foot, and these guys, you can have helmets, they cannot have helmets, they have various accessories. You make the model that you want, you export it, you have literally hundreds of options with just 1 month's release. Here we have a torchbearer, and just lots and lots of options. Lots of options even for the horses. That's how many horses? Like a dozen different horse designs. Lots of different facial designs, male, female, masked. Do you want somebody with a fez? There's an option for that. This is SolGood Creations. They do I think it's just a $1 tier. And if I'm wrong on that, someone please correct me down below. And it seems to be just one miniature pretty much. This is a mutated mini that you get for this month. And just wanted to point out and add another creator new to my video, not new, but this is how we keep these additional overview videos running a little bit longer. I was pleasantly surprised to see STL Miniatures has released a couple of models for the month. I think this is part of their ongoing campaigns here, but this is a skeletal ogre. And then just an ogre. So they've released those 2 miniatures as part of their November release. In addition, in the previous preview video, we saw the Shadow Stalkers preview, and again, this is part of their Never Dawn Chronicles, which is part of their loyalty brand. You need to be available on their Patreon for I think a year in order to have access to everything, but they've actually released some renders of these models, and I haven't seen them myself. Let's take a look. In addition to releasing these renders, they've also done some concept art for another Never Dawn group, which are called the Luminaries. Now, this is they've planned for the first version of Never Dawn. I think it's just the 2 factions, I'm not 100%. And just to kind of get an idea of what's coming from STL Miniatures. Is this fantasy or sci-fi? That looks like a gun. We'll have to see. Wargames Atlantic has done a small release since the last preview video. We now have some Egyptians that have been released. Lots of options here to putting those guys together. And also some more mimics. Don't think that's a boggart. Alric66 on my channel suggested I'd look at Warp Miniatures, so thank you for the suggestion. And so we're adding that in, and this month, for the month of November, I like the theme there, is Gnome Mousehold Cavalry and Friends as well. So you can kind of see everything done together here, and these I think are actual pictures of the miniatures actually printed and painted, and I love the paint jobs. Now, I love those paint jobs. Those are great paint jobs. So these are, again, from their release, just to show you here. The eyes are a bit much. It's like he's seen something, but the mouse is cute. Ghamak3149 on my channel, I hope I'm not mispronouncing your name there, suggested I look at White Angel miniatures, and so we did that. It seems like we're only having this preview image. I didn't see any other images that I could look at to see, but those look to be, at the bottom, I would say Chaos Dwarves. You know, the extra braiding in their beard kind of gives me that impression. And then in the middle are those elves, perhaps? Looks like some archers. And then at the top, that appears to be some sort of dark elves, maybe. So another very interesting, I want to keep my eye on White Angel. Looks to be like one of those where you get a little bit of this and a little bit of that every month, and you can really build your armies over just a few months and have multiple armies all together. So definitely worth checking out. And that brings us to the end of overview number 3. Now, if you're just watching my videos, go back and watch overview 2, and overview number 1 is the first one of the month. I don't like to rehash what we do, but you can go check those out. And if you've already seen those, then I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.